The Leave No One Behind Coalition is a collaboration of 12 international NGOs. Coordinated by the International Civil Society Centre, their goal is to put marginalised people at the heart of SDG implementation and monitoring. The coalition is present in 5 countries. In Vietnam, this coalition was formed in January 2018 to strengthen civil society engagement with the 2030 Agenda. This has included attending the high-level political forum to present voluntary national reviews at the UN headquarters in New York, including presenting Vietnam's progress in implementing the Sustainable Development Goals. Action Aid Vietnam also represented the coalition in 2018 at the SDG Global Festival of Action in Bonn. It was at Bonn that Action Aid Vietnam was able to describe how data it generated on unpaid care work was recognized as indicators by the government for reporting its progress on the Sustainable Development Goals. Vietnam is a committed partner of the 2030 Agenda and is committed to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. The 17 goals of the agenda have been incorporated into 115 targets into an SDG National Action Plan. Approved by the Vietnamese Central Committee, it focuses on the poor, people with disabilities, women, children, and ethnic minorities. Recently, the Leave No One Behind Coalition completed a joint research project to further understand Vietnam's progress in achieving the 2030 Agenda. It identified critical gaps in the implementation of SDG 10.2, which seeks to empower and promote the social, economic, and political inclusion of all, irrespective of age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, economic, or other status. This target was selected because its achievement is fundamental to ensuring that Vietnam's implementation of the SDGs leaves no one behind principle. This report began a dialogue with local communities and provided important information to help inform future work. In the surveyed areas, it found that social inclusion in Vietnam is modest. With 75% of the community a member of social organizations, participation was found to be low amongst women and members of ethnic minorities. Economic inclusion is unequal, with 54% of men owning land compared to only 9.8% of women. Political inclusion is high at 84.4%. However, awareness of the 2030 Agenda was modest, with only 51% of respondents either knowing about the agenda or being able to cite at least one of the goals. This report was important because it gave marginalized people a meaningful role in the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. It involved surveying over 400 people in 2 provinces, almost 50 in-depth interviews with locals and officials, and 17 group discussions. Realizing the 2030 Agenda must include a meaningful dialogue at the local level.
Civil society and NGOs in Vietnam use the 2030 Agenda to mobilize government in Vietnam by offering their involvement and help with creative ways of engaging in the implementation of strategic development goals.
Vietnam is one of the countries that has been most impacted by climate change and urbanization. We feel that all the goals in the SDG are very much relevant to the need of Vietnam in shaping up a new model of development.
Yeah, civil society is crucial in order to fulfill the 2030 Agenda. If we look at NGOs and the role they may play, they may utilize their networks, which often goes down to the community level. They may collect data to support monitoring and progress tracking. They may develop innovative projects and approaches and share their experiences with decision makers and the public.
Whilst the coalition has already made great progress in understanding the challenges we face, we need more united action and solidarity. More work is needed to empower and promote the social, economic, and political inclusion of all people. More resources need to be mobilized, and collective action needs to include not just the NGO sector, but ordinary citizens, grassroots organizations, local governments, and the private sector. Together, we can achieve a fairer tomorrow.